Hi, I'm Crystal from Beats and Basics. Welcome to another video tutorial. So last week we had some requests if we could please upload videos with some more masculine jewelry. So last week I spent some time creating some bracelets and necklaces. They are obviously unisex, but I use some rougher materials like leather, and I use some darker colors. So today I'm going to show you how to make one of the bracelets that I created, and I hope you're going to have a lot of fun with it. Bye! Today I'm going to show you how to make the box knot. You can see I have made it in 2 color variations and also with a different size leather. We just got a bunch of new colors in the shop, so I suggest you take a look to create your own favorite combo. Let's start with the materials. We need some scissors, flat nose pliers, cutting pliers, some tape, Hazelite jewelry glue, measure tape, 2mm leather I chose for dark blue, 1mm leather black, a toggle clasp, some ribbon ends 10mm wide, and 4mm jump rings. We're starting with making the box knot itself. So take the 2mm leather and cut off a piece of 1.5 millimeters and divide this in 4 equal strands, as you can see here. We're going to stick these on the table in the shape of a cross. So take 2 strands in one hand and 2 strands in the other hand, and start by laying down the strands horizontally on the table. And the other 2 strands you put vertically on top. So you can see it's a bit of a hassle because the leather is curling a lot, but that doesn't matter, as we will tape it down immediately with some of the white tape. So as you can see now, we have a cross shape. Now we take the top 2 strands of the vertical wire and we bend them downwards. And we stick them to the table with some tape, as you can see here. And we will do exactly the same with the bottom wires. So we take the 2 strands and we bend them, this time upwards, and we also stick them to the table with some tape. As you can see now, we have created 2 loops. So now we're going to thread the horizontal wires through these loops. We're going to start with the right side. So we put it over the first loop and under the second loop. And we're going to do exactly the same with the left side wires, but in the other direction. Over the first loop and under the second loop. Now we are going to remove the tape. Of course, the leather is still curling a lot, so to avoid it jumping in all directions, we secure the middle of the knot by holding it tight with one hand. Well, as you can see, it's quite slippery, so make sure you have a really good grip on it, okay? And when you have a good grip on it, we can remove all the tape. Now that the tape is removed, you see that we have 4 times 2 strands. And we grab the top 2 together, so you have 4 strands in one hand, and you do that on the other side as well. So in both hands you have 4 strands now. Now we're going to pull lightly, and slowly you will see the box knot forming. So what is very important is that it's symmetric, the knot, but also that the wires aren't crossing each other, so they have to be next to each other. And for that you have to just pull a bit and wriggle a bit, wiggle a bit, and make sure that when you turn it around here, that the 2 wires are not crossed. As you can see, they're crossed, so I'm going to just put them the way I want them. And I pull a bit more, and voila, Here you can see that at the back, the two wires are perfectly next to each other, and from the front, we have a very nice box knot. Now with the 1mm leather, we're going to create 2 silk wraps on either sides of the knot, which will look like this. I have cut 2 pieces of 50 centimeters each. I take my bracelet and turn it over, and then with one piece of the leather, I'm going to bend it, create a little bend, make sure that one side of the leather is a lot longer. And I'm going to put this at the back on top of the knot and then hold it together with my fingers. And I'm going to make a silk wrap by wrapping the leather towards me, direction the knot. I will do this 8 times. And you can choose yourself how many times you do it, but the most important thing is that you wrap it the same amount of times on one side as on the other side, because of course you want those to be the same. I am done with the wrapping, so I'm going to take the longer side of the piece of leather and I'm going to put it through the loop downwards. And when I pull on the other side, you can see the loop becoming smaller and slowly disappearing under the wrap part. Make sure you pull until the loop is more or less in the middle of the silk wrap. This is how you secure the silk wrap and you won't be able to see anything. Don't pull too tight because you still want to slide the silk wrap all the way up so that it's nicely next to the box knot. And once you've done that, you're ready to cut off the excess wire. You can see I have tightened the knot. It's all the way up next to the box knot. And I'm going to use the cutting pliers to cut off the wire. I'm not using scissors because I can get closer to the bracelet with the cutting pliers. That's one side. Now we do the second piece of wire. Once we've cut off the excess wire, we're going to secure it with some jewelry glue. So when you get the glue, make sure that you don't squeeze it too much, because then a lot of glue will come out in one time. I also suggest, by the way, that when you open it and you put just like a pinch of glue on your bracelet, try to close it immediately. Now, this is exactly why you shouldn't squeeze too hard, because too much glue can come out. So just put a little bit on one side of the silk wrap and on the other side. Close the glue, and I'm just going to dab it with my finger a bit. Remove all the excess glue and just make sure that it looks nice and clean. And when we've done one side, we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. We have finished the box knot with on each side a silk wrap. We can now measure the bracelet to the right size. This is for a man, so it should be about 18 centimeters, and I take off 2.5 centimeters for the clasp. I have now cut off the bracelet to the right size, and we are ready to finish it off. For this, we're going to use 2 ribbon ends and some glue. Hold on to one end of your bracelet as neatly as possible between your fingers together with one of the ribbon ends. Now put a tiny bit of glue inside of the ribbon end. And again, once you've done that, Don't forget to close off your glue immediately. And now also make sure you have your flat nose pliers nearby. As I put in the end of the bracelet, I hold it together and then I gently squeeze close one side and then the other side. So now before I squeeze it shut completely, I arrange the bracelet and I make sure that all 4 strands of leather are neatly placed inside of the ribbon end. And then I can squeeze it tightly and make sure you squeeze it shut on all sides of the ribbon end. And I've just done that on the other side as well, exactly the same way. And now we can start by putting on our toggle clasp. For this, we're going to use our 4mm jump rings. On one side of the bracelet, we're going to have the round part of the toggle clasp, and on the other side, the bar. So we're going to start with the round part, and we're going to attach that with 1 jump ring by opening it a little bit with our flat nose pliers, attaching it to the round part of the clasp, and then we close the jump ring with our flat nose pliers. We're going to do the same on the other side with the little bar, but instead of 1 jump ring, we're going to use 3 jump rings. It just makes it easier like that to close the clasp. So we also begin by opening the jump ring, attaching it to the ribbon end, and then we close it. We do this with all 3 jump rings. So now the second one and the third one. The third one we also attach to the bar, attach it to the second jump ring. After we've closed it, our toggle clasp is firmly attached. Let's see if it works. Perfect. The toggle clasp looks beautiful, and we have finished our lovely box knot bracelet. Thank you for watching the video tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed making it. I sneakily also hope that you're going to try and make this bracelet at home. We love to see your creations, and you can also post them on our Instagram account. Just use the hashtag #BeatsandBasics. You can find all the materials in our shop, www.beatsandbasics.com. If you have any more questions or doubts, you can leave a comment under the video. And if you want to see more videos and more tutorials, especially in English, just sign up to our channel. Have a great day. Bye.